Hey everyone, how's it going? We are back with the improved Sparring Jinteki deck from last time. If you remember, that's the spiky Palana deck that I showcased. Today we'll be playing it again since we've had so much fun with it. So sit back, relax and enjoy as I provide live commentary as I go during the game. Alright, so I would usually maul aggressively for economy, but against Leela I think I'm gonna play conservatively here and keep. So I need to think about ice placement immediately. I think Aiki on HQ is suitable and Kakugo on R&D is just fine. I could go the other way honestly. Against Leela I definitely want to turtle up. I don't think Leela is a matchup where I want to install a Chiyashi. So what I'm actually leaning towards here is installing Chiyashi as DDoS protection. I've drawn a shipment from Tenin. HQ, R&D. I think I can afford to hold the Chiyashi in hand and wait to see what my opponent does. I might need to reactively put Chiyashi on Archives against Sneak Door Beta. Or I need to put Chiyashi on the Central to defend against DDoS. This could be a passive Leela build that plays Gang Sign. I think that is a very likely thing, so that is really bad news if that's the case. Zamba. GPI net tap Leela. Okay. GPI net tap. GPI net tap. What do I have to worry about GPI net tap? I have no idea. I really have no idea what to do here. I think HQ credit's a good idea. Again, trying to get to the 12 credit level to threaten Chiyashi, but also now that I've 8 credits, I don't have to worry about... And my opponent has to worry about DNA tracker, but they give me the money anyway. They play peace in our time. Interesting. Okay, I draw a snare. Do I go for the remote snare? I'm very tempted to. I think I will. My opponent seems to be making a lot of money with peace in our time, so... Oh, Fisk. Yeah, so I probably want to play fast. They run Archives and get a SACCON Tapworm down. That is pretty bad news. Yeah, funding their money is really not good news. What do I do here? Do I purge? I think my deck goes too quickly to purge, so I'm gonna install here. I'm going to draw and then play price tag on server 1. Discarding the Breach Dome. I have no idea what my opponent's deck is. This is so scary. It could be Turtles. Deuces Wild to draw 2, Deuces Wild to gain 3, Earthrise, GPI net tap, okay. So they're gonna be really rich. I haven't drawn any desirable agendas yet. I might want to score the Obokata here. I could Kakugo HQ Aiki R&D. R&D HQ. I'll play the IPO here. Another GPI net tap, a Film Critic, and a Rubicon switch. Rubicon's really bad. Oh, yeah, this is really bad. I'm going to be dirt poor pretty soon. Yuck. Maybe I should trash the Tapworm. De-res a piece of ice res this turn. Yeah, I think I have to go for it. Install double advance the Obokata. Oh yeah, I'm not really used to playing against Leela, and the Tatworm is going to cause a lot of problems because they are just going to deny my money, and they are rich enough to do that, so this is really bad. I'm trying to win on damage here, we'll see if that can happen. If they overextend, they could be in trouble, but otherwise, I think this is not a favorable matchup for me. Okay, Toto comes down, they're going to run the remote. Do I res? Do I res here? I think I do. I res. Alright, we play Sai. I won't bother bidding because I'm gonna be poor. Deal 1 net, deal 1 net. So they use a GPI net tap here to jack out. Okay, I didn't know that. So if it's not the first ice, you can jack out before... we can jack out without using GPI net tap. That's pretty crazy. I never knew that. Okay, interesting. This puts me in a bind. What do I do here? Do I score? I think I score. But I can see what they'll do coming up is they'll simply keep running my centrals and de-resing my Kakugos. I can't afford to keep resing Kakugos infinitely. This is a big problem. Once they get turning wheel down, I'm kind of screwed. Do I purge? Is purging even useful? I'll just try to score. Especially with critical down, I'd rather get this scored than not. So they bounce the Crisium Grid, interesting. Oh wow. I guess I'm not using my Violet level clearance this game. Yeah, turning wheel. This is what I was worried about. Xanadu as well. Okay. Looks like I'm leaning very hard on my Ikes this game. Do I give here? I think give Psychokinesis is correct. Give Violet, Hedge, Psychokinesis. I don't think I show the Breach Dome here. I think I show Crisium Grid. And then I Psycho. Psycho for Pryzak. Yeah, definitely Psycho for Pryzak. Ditch Breach Dome. Ditch Breach Dome. Pass turn. It's unlikely they'll run Archives because now they have their engine set up, they can keep running Centrals. So yeah, this is gonna be really hard. I played Celeb Gift just so that I have money to rest my stuff. Like, they're gonna de-rest Shashi and everything, so that's nasty. Leave no trace, really? Bloody hell. When run, yeah, I'm just gonna rest that. Okay, they draw cards. I'm not gonna bother with the rest of the remote. But I will plink them for 2 Pryzaks. Okay, that's a start, I guess. Okay, They're down to 7 credits. That's a start. Komainu is interesting, right? It's not cheap for them to break. So, Purge. I think this is the time to Purge. The question is, which card do I... Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's quite obvious. I'm gonna drop the VLC. Yeah, I'm not sure how much the Purge actually does. I think my main goal there was to slowly plink away at the Tapworm. But I'm not sure if that's actually the correct play. The thing is, I haven't drawn agendas yet, so... You know, I'm gonna do the next best thing, which is to Purge. I know there are no agendas coming out anytime soon on R&D, which is why I don't think there's any point in me trying to play for anything else. They tried to rest the Kakugo. I think I have to rest the Kakugo here. They are gonna bounce out, de-res it. That's so not good for me. Oh. Oh yeah, okay, that's really bad. I forgot about that. Okay, hatch, Komainu HQ. You need a spiky outer piece of ice. I forgot about turning wheel, yes. So resing Kakugo there was wrong. Let's see if they let me go. Okay, I'm gonna res it. They're gonna surely deck themselves very soon. They pay 3 credits. They get to the Kakugo, which oh, they jack out. Okay. Wow, they are making money very quickly. I have underestimated the economy power of this. Zamba plus 2 GPI net taps equals 2 credits per ice exposed. Yikes. Yeah, that bad. I need to do some damage control quickly. Yeah, I can't sustain this. This is really bad. I don't know. I have no way to force the issue though, because I don't actually run proper fast track. Yikes. This is nasty. Yeah, I'm trying to think what other outs I have here. They're slowly but surely drawing their entire deck, so I think more than likely I need to somehow plink them with damage to win. Okay. They're just gonna get another Tapworm out, aren't they? Hoping to induce them on the Archives run eventually, because that would be really funny. I haven't shown Breach Dome yet, but I think they're smart enough to not run Archives. Yep, so let's see. Are they gonna hit the Komainu? Are they? Of course. That's a lot of cards they have in their hand. I'll definitely res it. Okay. Yeah, Komainu is gonna carry me here. And Aiki. Although even resing a single Komainu is super expensive. 3 net damage. Okay. 1, 2, 3. I think that hit a oh no, it hit a Rubicon. Right. They're gonna expose the Aiki there. And they jack out. They're gonna Rubicon that. It's not the worst, but I'm slowly but surely getting poor, so that's a problem. Chrysium Grids. I think I need a Chrysium HQ here. Or do I Purge again? I could honestly Purge. I'm just gonna Chrysium HQ and credit. There's one thing my opponent isn't doing, and that's making successful runs. My shipment from Tenin is always alive, and I can easily score a 3-2 from hand if I actually draw one. So that's something I have going for me. I'll periodically Purge, I guess. I'm committed to playing the long game here since I've started Purging. And I honestly have no idea how this will turn out. I just really wish they would run Archive someday. That would make me very happy. HQ again. I don't know who's winning. I think they're winning off this trade. I can't make money as fast as they can. And I don't have the time to purge. That kind of sucks. Yeah. Maybe I should have eroded my inner ice. I don't know. Who's winning? They have a permanent economy source. I only have my basic action card. I think I'm losing. Oh, they're running archives. Fantastic. Please hit the apocalypse from hand. That would be lovely. Please hit the apocalypse. Okay. They lose attack worm, they lose fist, they lose useless wild. I'm happy with that. Oh, they lose a bunch of cards from their deck as well. Including the third GPI nap tap. That will help. So my wish has come true. They have drawn their entire deck. Now I can't win with Obokatas purely because they are film critics, so that's a pain. Okay, I draw VLC. Interesting. I really want to play the VLC, but I know I can't. Yeah, tough. This is really tough. I really want to play the VLC, but I know that they will access my entire hand with Turning Wheel if I attempt to do so. I think I take credits here. I could purge. So I've made the mistake of double icing my centrals because every additional ice on my central is giving my opponent extra GPI net tap money. They are making 4 credits off a HQ run when they really should only be making 2. The Aiki and the Kakugo inside are kind of useless and I wish they weren't there. I think I have to wait for a Leela bounce to get rid of them. The Turning Wheel is what really concerns me. Yeah, if there's anything I'm going to lose to, it's off the back of a Turning Wheel. What's my solution to that? I tossed one of my Kakugos, which might have been a bad decision. I don't know. Innermost Kakugo is useful. How about I drop a Crisium Grid in my remote? What does that do? I can res an Aiki. I can't afford to purge here because do I VLC and ditch agendas in the bin? Do I attempt to go for VLC and agendas in the bin? That is the question. Credit, VLC, ditch agendas in the bin. How good is that? What if I draw 3 agendas? They go in the bin. Do I lose? I cannot dump agendas in the bin because they can easily use Needler Bounce to expose my remote. I think my win condition has to be shipment from 10 in. The question is... this is so hard! This is so hard. Do I install the Crisium Grid on the remote and force them into running the remote? What does that do? It doesn't tax them. I don't know what that does. Do I take credits? I think I take credits. I don't know. This game is so hard. Okay. I res the Komainu. I'm slowly but surely getting very poor. But they have to pay for the Komainu. They expose that. They jack out. They de-res my Komainu. They are now down to 4 credits. I don't know. Who's winning? Who's winning? That's a VLC. That's a sign telling me to play VLC, right? Right? I play VLC here, right? There are 6 turning wheel counters. I can't play VLC here. I'm gonna take credits. Because I'm a wimp. I don't know. They're getting so many turning wheel counters. I'm gonna lose off turning wheel. This is dumb. This is so dumb. Screw you, I'm gonna res that. For 6 credits. You pay 5. You come in, you expose my inner Ike. I really wish that inner Ike wasn't there. That changes everything. They can afford to keep afloat like this, and I can't. Ah, man. What is this game? Okay, they're down to 2 credits, and I draw select gift. So I think the answer here is click 1 draw, click 2 and 3 select gift. Fetch out 2 is useful. Now I'm gonna ditch 1 tracker. I don't think I need that. I will be too poor to use it at any rate. So they're still Rubiconning my Ike. That's fine. I think this is where I drop the Fairchild 2. So, do I need the Chiashi? I don't, right? It has outlived its use and there are 21 counters on the turtle. So I'm gonna drop that, drop the Chiashi, drop the snare, take credit. That's the only thing I can do. Hope he runs it. That's all I am hoping for. I haven't shown the shipment from 10 in, so okay. Gonna res. Alright. I don't know what they do here. I honestly have no idea what they do here. I'm so happy I got rid of the third GPI net tab with the breach domes. If they had 3 GPI net tabs, this would be so over. Credit, credit. Swordsman would be really good here, yeah. Who knew I'd be up against GPI net tab or Makwa? Anyway, they're not running my remote. Yeah, I have to take credits. I'll just pretend to think for a while. This is quite obvious. It's not an agenda. I can't score it. I have to take credits. IPO would be good right about now. I think there's still at least 1 IPO in the deck. Yeah, I guess. Oh wow. Yeah, now they're farming counters for free. Jeez, that's bad. Oh, I shouldn't have res the Fairchild. Oh, shucks. Oh, that's so bad. Wow, that's really bad. Yeah, I did not see that line of play. I was too poor to res the Komainu. Oh, that's so sick. Oh, so sick. Yeah, I have to give all the money to them. That's 4 credits per run. Sick. So sick. I could rest the inner Aiki, but like, what's the point now, right? Seriously, what's the point? Uh, this is so sick. There's no point. There's no point resting anything. Oh, come on. They got the Obokater. After not drawing agendas for ages, they finally find the Obokater. That's so dumb. Credit cycle, I guess. What is this hand? Snare on the remote, I guess. This makes me feel so sick. Yeah, I'm locked out. I made too many mistakes against this deck. All he has to do is to just keep running and prevent me from... I don't know, what other outs do I have? I could put tracker on various servers and purge. Maybe I should have thought of that out. Yeah, if I put DNA tracker on R&D and HQ and then purge, what was their answer? The Abagnail's in the bin. I guess I'm not gonna do that now. I don't even know what I'm doing now, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know. Unless he makes a gross mistake. I guess I'll just score it. He's probably gonna win off R&D anyway. There's so few cards left. He's gonna access the whole of R&D and win. And I can't even snipe him with the snare, so Thank goodness he used all his turning wheel on HQ with no agendas. That helps. So if all my agendas are at the bottom of the deck, I might stand a chance. Otherwise, this is basically over. Alright. Yep, that should be game. There's the brain trust. As you could tell from my in-game commentary at that time, my mind was clouded. I couldn't make right decisions because I had never faced against this archetype before. If I had actually sharpened my mind, I would have noticed that my opponent was doing the same thing over and over and over and over during their turns. They were making a run, jacking out after encountering the first piece of ice, clicking for credits, and then doing a Rubicon D-Res. If I noticed that, I would have opened my eyes to the variety of outs I had, which were pretty numerous. I wouldn't say these were 100% guaranteed lines of play to make me win, but they sure were far better than what I did, which was to sit there, dawdle on, and wait as my opponent sapped me of credits and my soul. So to discuss that, the most obvious out, which I'm sure even most of you out there would have picked up on, was that I could have used my ice to deny my opponent. My opponent got to a point where the deck was thin. In fact, they had no cards left in the stack, and they were limited by the breaker in Ormaquah. So I could have abused that to get some strength 6 DNA trackers up. That way my opponent would be completely locked out. They would not be able to farm Ormaquah counters at all with nothing installed in the remote, and with both key centrals, ice with double DNA tracker, which I drew at one point but ended up discarding, shaking it off as too expensive to res. That was my mistake. They couldn't even go onto archives to farm Ormaquah counters as most players would usually, because there are 3 breach domes in there that would flatline them very easily. This was by far the easiest out, and the best thing was I had enough money to do it. I was up at around the 15 to 20 credit level at one point, and I instead spent it all on trying to res the HQ Komainu when installing DNA trackers was clearly the right play. My opponent, if I use DNA tracker as my outermost ice and overrode all the other ice in that server, I would be left with a single ice server on HQ and R&D. My opponent would only be able to get 2 credits maximum of GPI net taps per run, and by putting DNA tracker as the outermost ice, they are forced to break it or at least encounter it. They could de-res it with Rubicon later on, but every time I get to res it, and they don't have enough Ormaquah counters to deal with it, they are taking 3 net damage, and with their stack out of cards, I could easily flatline them that way. The other method was to go fast, which I contemplated on. I did not commit to it, and that was my mistake. Against a GPI net taps deck, I did not realize that the turning wheel counters would stack up so quickly, especially when I gave my opponent a window to jack out 4 times on HQ. That way, my opponent got more than enough turning wheel counters to steal the deal on R&D, whereas by going fast, I can pressure my opponent into perhaps making misplays by prematurely unloading turning wheel counters or making extra runs they didn't need to. So what I really should have done was to use the efficiency of Violet level to propel me through the game, to draw through my deck, and to tax my opponent by constantly jamming stuff in the remote, forcing them to check it and relieving central pressure for a turn.
basically force them to make successful runs every turn, otherwise I'll be fast advancing with shipment from Tenin like nothing. Remember the turn structure I outlined earlier. My opponent, most turns for the most part, actually did not make successful runs. In fact, shipment from Tenin was active for the most part during most of the game. Because they were forced to jack out after the first piece of ice, if they continued after the second piece of ice, I could potentially rest both pieces of ice. They couldn't de-rest both with Rubicon. That would have been a constant tax on them from the rest of the game. This was why my opponent refused to make successful runs, because they did not want to give me any chance at all to rest more than one piece of ice per turn, because Rubicon can only de-rest one piece of ice per turn. So knowing that, I should have actually gone fast, jam those brain trusts quickly, and force my opponent to check the remote or risk giving me shipment from Tenin scores. Finally, a very, very contrived out, but certainly possible, within the means of my deck. I could have used the ability on Brain Trust. That is right, you heard it here, folks. This is the one matchup where you want an over-advanced Brain Trust in your score area, because even just having one advancement token changes the whole dynamic, because it means that you're keeping on par with the runner's credit level. Right, in that game, I was spending more than my opponent was to keep my Komainu going, because I had to pay the extra Xanadu tax every time. The Brain Trust token negates that, and I'm able to play on a more fair playing field. So that's huge, and definitely scoreable as a 5-2 agenda by using double shipment from Tenin into the final advancement. So yeah, so many outs I had, I just decided to choose the worst possible line of play, and obviously that gave me no outs to win at all. I came close, but close was definitely not enough, because after scoring the 5 points in the fast advanced Brain Trust, my opponent was able to blow open my centrals and make successful runs from that point on. With so many turning wheel counters, they had the game locked up, especially with Film Critic on the board. What else did I learn? Well, Zamba is pretty powerful when combined with a persistent Zamba trigger, a dedicated trigger, expose effect rather, that stays in play for the entire game. And that's exactly what GPI NetTap provides. It is an extra bonus that GPI NetTap is stackable and that it triggers on multiple times per run. Double GPI NetTap and Zamba gives you 4 credits per click, which is absolutely insane. That you can't even compare Desperado to that if you are getting that sort of efficiency. And that's not even max efficiency. My opponent did not get to install their third GPI NetTap because I sniped it with damage. Imagine if they got it. Game would have been over very quickly. So yeah, GPI NetTap very powerful, and if more persistent expose effects like GPI NetTap arrive on the horizon this cycle, I'm sure we can see a potentially very powerful archetype that relies on expose and Omaqua. This is a very strong potential for Zamba to be used or abused. Well, hopefully you enjoyed this episode of Successful Demo with Zamba. Who knew it would be like that? Well, you take what you get. When life throws you lemons and causes you to lose games like that, make some lemonade out of it. I hope you enjoyed this introduction to Zamba. We might see more of it. Till next time, thanks for watching, and always, happy net running. Goodbye.